Good morning, everyone. Today we should talk about regulation pattern in our body. You should know that there are three kinds of regulation pattern in our body. The first one, nervous regulation. The second one, hormonal regulation. And the last one, autoregulation. Among these three, nervous regulation is the most important. Okay, let's see what is nervous regulation. We mean nervous regulation is a process which body functions are controlled by nervous system. Here, we mean in nervous regulation, a basic activity is reflex. When there is activity of reflex, we mean this kind of regulation is nervous regulation. Okay, in the following, we should talk about characteristics of nervous regulation and basic process of nervous regulation. Okay, first we should talk about the characteristic of nervous regulation. Here is an example for you. When we just touch a very sharp thing, especially for example, a needle, what do you feel? Yeah, very painful. So you should stretch back your fingers and your arms. Maybe this kind of regulation is a nervous regulation. Here, during this process, what's about the characteristic about this? Here for the most important, you should see that when you touch the needle, just at the same time, at the just moment, you should stretch back. So we mean that the reflection is very, very quick. That's the first characteristic. And for another, we should see that when you stretch back your arm, your finger, you should finish it in very short time. That's the duration. It's very short. That's the second characteristic. And at last, we mean that when your forefinger touch the needle, you will stretch back your forefinger. And if your middle finger just touch the needle, you will stretch back your middle finger. That's we mean this kind of reaction is very accurate. So that's the third characteristic of nervous regulation. Let's just make a summary. Okay, the first one, quick. Yeah, the second, we mean short. And the last one, yeah, accurate. Okay, after we talk about the characteristic of nervous regulation, we should talk about the types of nervous regulation. Okay, it can be divided into two kinds here. One we name it unconditional reflex. The other one we name it conditional reflex. Okay, let's see the conditional reflex first. What is conditional reflex? We mean very classic example here. We mean we have a dog and we want the dog to come here and eat something. And maybe sometimes we didn't give another stimulation and we just give the bone for the dog to eat. Maybe the dog will come. He may get the signals that maybe it will see the bone, it will smell it. But for other stimulation, when we just give the bone to the dog, at the same time, we just ring the bell. And maybe these two different things are controlled by the dog. He just sets relationship with these two kind of things, the bell and the bone. So maybe he will start from this. And at last, another kind of reflex will be established. That we mean a conditional reflex here. He just see the ring bell and he will come here and it's the bone. Here we name it a conditional reflex here. And except this conditional reflex, we mean that in our body, maybe a large amount of another kind of reflex is unconditional reflex. For example, when we just touch the needle, when we just touch the dangerous thing, we will stretch back our fingers, our arm. That it is heredited from the initial time, and we needn't study, we needn't familiar with something, and we can have this kind of reflex easily. That is unconditional reflex. Okay, after we talk about these two kind of person, you must remember one thing is the most important. During these two kind of reflex, that anatomic structure is very important. That is reflex arc. It is consist of 5 parts: sensory, afferent nerve, central, efferent nerve, and effector. Okay, that is nerve regulation. The most important, you must remember the characteristic and the pattern. That's all. Thank you.